The night the storm came, every bright firefly failed. The strongest lights disappeared. The biggest fireflies got lost, and the only one who could save the forest was the tiny firefly everyone laughed at. Her name was Lumi, and before this night was over, she would discover something that changed her life forever. But first, she had to learn why being small was never her weakness. Deep in a moonlit meadow, hundreds of fireflies filled the night sky with golden light. They danced above the flowers, they twirled through the tall grass, they sparkled like tiny stars. And then there was Lumi. When she tried to glow, only a tiny flicker appeared. Some fireflies laughed, some whispered, some barely noticed her at all. Night after night, Lumi watched from the edge of the meadow while everyone else celebrated together. And little by little, she began to believe she would never belong. Then came the biggest night of the year, the Great Lighting Festival. Every firefly dreamed of being part of it. Lumi dreamed of it too. So she gathered all her courage and asked if she could join. The answer came instantly: laughter. The other fireflies told her she could barely light a dewdrop. How could she possibly help illuminate the festival? The words stung. Lumi turned away and flew beyond the meadow until she reached a lonely branch overlooking the forest. She sat there quietly, staring into the darkness. And that was when someone unexpected appeared. A small old cricket climbed onto the branch beside her. He listened patiently as Lumi shared everything she had been carrying in her heart. When she finished, the cricket pointed toward a distant forest where ancient trees stretched toward the stars. Deep within those woods lived the old owl, the wisest creature in the forest. If anyone could help Lumi understand her light, it was him. But there was one problem. The old owl lived beyond the black woods, and almost nobody dared to enter them. Lumi felt her wings tremble. The black woods were known for their darkness. Many creatures avoided them completely. But before she left, the cricket shared one final lesson. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is choosing to move forward even when fear comes with you. Those words stayed with Lumi. So she took a deep breath, spread her wings, and flew into the darkness. What she found there would test her more than she ever imagined. Cold winds pushed against her. Twisted shadows stretched across the path. More than once she lost her way. More than once she nearly turned back. But she kept going. Then at last she saw it. A giant hollow tree, glowing softly in the darkness. Inside sat the old owl. Silver feathers shimmered in warm light. Golden eyes watched her with quiet wisdom. After listening to her story, the owl asked a simple question. What is light for? Lumi thought she knew the answer, but she was wrong. The owl smiled and began to teach. Light matters most when darkness needs it. Even the smallest candle can transform a dark room. Those who mock others are often hiding fears of their own. And true strength is not found in brightness. It is found in kindness. Because those who understand loneliness often become the best at helping others feel seen. Something changed inside Lumi. Her light was no bigger, but it felt steadier. For the first time, she stopped wishing she were someone else. And then, the storm arrived. Dark clouds swallowed the sky. Thunder shook the forest. Rain crashed through the trees. One by one, every light in the meadow vanished. Soon the forest was completely dark. Then came the cries. Baby birds called for their parents. Tiny caterpillars clung to branches in the wind. Families searched desperately for one another. No one could see. No one knew where to go. Panic spread everywhere. And in that moment, Lumi remembered the owl's first lesson: light matters most when darkness needs it. This was the darkness he had been talking about. Lumi stopped worrying about how small her glow looked. She stopped wishing it were bigger, and simply let it shine. A tiny light appeared, small, steady, unwavering, and in the endless darkness, it was enough. The caterpillar saw it first, then the baby birds, then frightened creatures from every corner of the forest. One by one, they followed Lumi, and suddenly the smallest light in the forest became the most important. All night long, Lumi guided the creatures towards safety, and by morning, every one of them had made it through the storm. When the sun finally rose, the forest was safe. News of what Lumi had done spread quickly. The fireflies gathered around her. For the first time in her life, every eye in the meadow was looking at Lumi. No laughter, no whispers, no teasing, only respect. That was when Lumi finally understood. She had never needed a bigger light. She had only needed the courage to use the light she already had. And maybe that is something we can remember too. Sometimes the smallest light can make the biggest difference, especially when it helps someone find the way home. And from that day forward, whenever the stars appeared above the meadow, Lumi glowed peacefully, not brighter, not bigger, simply herself. And that was more than enough.